I found out what the problem was. So that's actually why the event manager is really, really important. So what was happening with my game? The reason why we couldn't click on this button. Let's see if I can reenact this. The reason why we couldn't really interact with this button is because of this. And so if you're ever having like button clicking problems and you don't really know what the issue is, try going to your event manager, right? So right now I'm clicking this button, but it's not doing anything, right? So I can roll over it. It's kind of like changing colors a little bit, but it's not really, well, actually now it's not even changing colors. So when I go to the event system, I can check down here. And when I try to click on something, it's going to tell me pointer enter, pointer pressed, and current raycast. These are the things that I'm going to be paying attention to. So when I try to click on the button right now, notice it says text. My pointer enter is set for text, and the current raycast below that it says text. Right. Well, when I try to click something, it says button, so it's clicking the button, but if you'll notice, like the raycast isn't really showing up with anything, right? And that is because this guy, well, there's a couple of problems here. So one, transition canvas is turned off. So let me cut that back on. All right, now let's check our event system. All right, so if I go in here, I got my event system and I have my transition panel, right? So my pointer is inside of the transition panel, yay! But when I click here again, like if you'll notice, I'm clicking the button, but nothing's happening. Well, that's because something is in the way that's blocking this button from actually being activated. So what I can do is I know what's above the button, right? So I know what's kind of blocking the button. So I can go to this transition panel, and what I'm going to be looking for is something like called raycast, right? So here it is, and I'm going to take this box off. All right, so now let's see what happens when I come over here. So if I go over here, oh, my button turns red. And then when I click here, well, it actually transitions, right? So that's what the problem was. So basically I have to cut this on, I have to cut this on, and I have to go to the transition panel, and I have to make sure that this transition panel is not raycasting, or is not blocking my raycast, kind of. All right, so now now that we've checked that off, when I go here and I start the game, all right, and when I kill myself, all right, now you'll notice that my button turns red, and when I click on it, it will wait for 1.5 seconds because that's what we specified before going to the new scene. And this new scene is nothing there except for like a player and a boring ass button. So we're gonna click up out of here, and we're gonna add some more stuff to that later. All right, so that was the problem there. So I'm gonna turn this game over off, and turn this transition canvas off. So for the game over now, we do have a way for the player to transition to a different scene, instead of just hitting R all the time, right? So the player has options. Like, I'm getting tired of this freaking level, so I want to go back to the menu at least. All right, so hold on. Let me cut my light back on. It just kind of automatically cuts itself off sometimes. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so now we have like a few more options for our player to like transfer between different scenes. That's one way that we're going to transition between scenes, but this is only available if the game is over. Well, what if we want the player to transition to a scene while he's still alive, like maybe by entering a door or something? Well, what we're going to do now is I'm going to cut this game over scene off, and I'm going to go down here. And if you'll notice, I have a box, a white box that's just kind of chilling down here doing absolutely nothing special, right? So I put that there earlier. I'm gonna change the color of this box to something like holy, or something kind of cute, I guess. Maybe a green little exit box, and I might actually make it a little bit more see-through. Make it a little bit transparent. Yeah. Okay. Lowering the opacity here. Yeah. So this will be our exit stage, kind of. All right, so right now I'm going to rename this to exit level. All right, and this is going to we don't need a rigid body for this one, but we are going to need a collider. So we're going to go ahead and put a box collider, and we're going to make this a trigger, right? And what this is going to do is basically I'm going to have it to where when the player runs into this, right now when the player runs into this, he'll be able to transition to a different scene. And then we'll add like some stuff to like actually make this open in a little bit. Okay, so yeah, he can run up in here and like this is a trigger, so it's not really going to do anything to him at the moment because we have no script. Yeah, so that's going to be a little exit zone. All right, and so now what we have to do is we're going to need to add a script to this. So I'm going to right click on this, or left click on that, sorry, and I'm going to add a component, and the component I'm going to add is a new script. And this will, I'm just going to name this one like level jump script. Yeah, because we just want this to jump levels or like exit the level when the player, well, initially, like actually when the player collects like a certain amount of coins or player collects something, then we want this to kind of open and make it to where the player can actually transition to the next level. That's kind of where we're going with this. So I've got my level jump script. All right. And I'm going to open this up in Visual Studio. Oh, it's still trying to. For some reason, this is kind of slow on my M1 Mac. All right, there we go. Level jump script. All right, so we've got our level jump script, and of course with this one, we're going to need to first add the space. So using Unity engine dot scene management, because we're going to be using this to transition scenes. And then we're going to go down here, and just like before, so we're going to need to add a few things. So we're going to need to add a private scene transitions, and that's going to be like scene, yeah, scene transitions. That's no, scene transitions. Yeah. So we're going to add that, and then we're going to add a public float, and that is going to be for time to wait, because we are going to have a bit of a delay. I could just put delay here, but public string, and this will be scene name, right? So it's very similar to the actual transition script that we already have. In this case, though, it's going to be a little bit different because this one's going to interact when this one is actually going to interact when the player collides with it. Now, what we could do is we could add this to the scene transitions right here. And there wouldn't necessarily be anything wrong with that. But the reason I create a different script is because a lot of times I might add some other type of switches and details to this one that I may not necessarily want to get confused with the actual scene transition script. So I have a habit of doing that. But I mean, like I said, you can just kind of go down here and add like a void on trigger enter 2D. Yeah, and if and I tend not to use this one. I just tend to use other. Sorry, I always change it to other. If other, yeah. So if other dot compare tag is player, if layer, I can't type for nothing. If player, then I can actually do this here. Now, for a small game, I could actually just do this here. For a larger game, I might actually want to separate this out because like there might be some other functions that I'm going to add to this level jump, right? But since this is a simple game, I might not necessarily need the level jump. But yeah, I'll just do both of them anyway. So for this one, I can use yeah, reload. I can just go ahead and type scene manager. Scene manager dot load scene, and that would be like scene name. And this would probably actually work, right? The thing is though, hold on. It's not picking up scene name. Why? Do you have scene name in here? Scene transition, scene name. Oh, that's right. Scene name wasn't defined up here. It was actually only defined in in this load scene and its own trigger. Okay, yeah, that's one reason why I don't use this. I forgot about that. Let me go ahead and like comment this one out. And save. Okay, yeah. So I guess we'll go ahead and do this on the level jump. But I mean, you can do it here, but there's a line of code that I might not necessarily want to run in the scene transition anyway, and that would be to unload the current assets, because if I'm going to be loading the same scene, then I might not necessarily want to unload everything and then like have Unity go through the trouble of reloading or re-importing all of it before it restarts the same level over again. So yeah, we'll go for a level jump. So this is like specifically for, you know, I'm going to another level. I don't need all of these current scene assets. Please dump these shits before I go and free up some memory, right? So yeah, back in our level jump script. Let's see. I've got my time to wait, my scene name. I'll go to start. I'll type my scene transitions equals find object. Object of type. Find object of type, not objects of type. Find object of type, and that will be scene transitions. Okay, and I'll type that there, and then update. Not really gonna do so much with update. I'm gonna go to void on trigger enter 2D, and I'm gonna change it to other again because I just don't like the name collision. Other, and we're going to use the same type of if. So you should be getting used to this if statement. If other dot compare tag compare, or sorry, this is on trigger enter. Yeah, on trigger enter 2D compare tag equals right player. There we go. And then this will be resources. So this is resources. So basically, it's kind of gonna make a list, or make yeah, kind of make a list of all the resources that are currently being used in the current scene. And then what I'm gonna use is I'm gonna use unload unload used assets, or unload unused assets. Yeah. Okay. And that's going to unload the assets that I'm currently not using, as long as I put an extra parenthesis here. So unload assets, unload assets in the scene which are currently not being used. I can use. All right. And then, so we want to unload all of these assets before we transfer to a new scene, in order to free up some memory. So then after that, I'm just going to type in scene manager dot load scene, and this will be scene name, right? And again, this will allow us to actually type in the scene that we want to go to. All right, I'll save this script. I'm gonna have to cook dinner soon. But I think I'm gonna make. Oh, actually, no, I don't have to cook dinner tonight. My wife already made taco rice. Yay! Taco rice, taco rice, taco rice. All right, so I actually love taco rice because it takes all of the meat and all the vegetables that kids don't want to eat and just smashes them into like something with a bunch of like taco sauce on it and like tomatoes, lettuce, and you just put it over rice and you give it to the kids and they don't know the difference. They're like, oh, they think they're eating meat, but it's actually mostly vegetables. So good way to deceive your kids into eating their vegetables. All right, so let's go back over to Unity. I should make a taco rice song. Hold on, I'm checking my work mail here. Okay. So let's see, I'm not getting any errors right now. So I can go to my exit level and let's see, I've got level jump script. Okay, time to wait. I usually use 1.5. And the scene name, well, I've only got like one scene I can actually go to right now. So we'll type main menu here. And let's see what happens if when my player runs into this. Alright, so I can click around, run around, yay, and then like if I get tired of this level I can do the mommy help me, and then like run over here. Oh, and yeah, so it just goes ahead and jumps straight over to this scene, which is okay. But I noticed that it doesn't really like go to my transitions panel. So let's see. So the actual transition was good, but it didn't bring up the transitions panel like I was expecting. So let's go over here, untag this guy, and I probably need a tag, resources, unload assets, scene manager, load scene, scene name. Well, I mean, I could try to use that in code, or I could be really, really, really lazy. I mean, I could try to get the transitions panel and like the delay to load in code, or I could be really, really, really lazy and just go here to this transition canvas and I right click and copy this guy and then save this scene. And right now, my main menu, doesn't have a transition panel, which I'm gonna need one anyway. So I'll just go ahead and copy this and paste them right here. Right, and that should give me a little bit of a delay. So make sure that this raycast thing is still off. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so that should give me a little bit. And if you'll notice, the animations are like were kind of ported over with this already. So when I click on this, the animations are still here. So now, let me save this and go back to my sample scene. Okay, sample scene play. Okay, I'm in. I'm dead. Oh, actually, that's not what I was trying to do. So, all right, and okay, so we did get our transition here. All right, so let me stop that again. I got so used to killing myself, it's just become second nature. So, all right, let's do this again. So, don't kill yourself. Don't kill yourself. Go for the exit. Yeah. I don't want to study for high school entrance exams. All right, so let's go here and boom. All right, there we go. So that does show up now. So we did transition and we did have the fade in. One thing that you might have noticed though, let's go to this exit level. That was a 1.5. That didn't seem like 1.5. So let's try a 3. Okay, so I mean, like, don't get me wrong, 3 seconds is way too long to transition between something. So unless you got like a cutscene or something. So let's run into this guy. And it does automatically transition. Why are you not delaying me? I know why you're not delaying. So the reason you're not delaying is because we don't have a enumerator in here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our code, and we're going to look at this guy and say, wow, that's a nice piece of code. And then we're going to go over here, and we're going to say, but that nice piece of code is incomplete. So we're going to copy this enumerator, and let's go ahead and stick this enumerator in here. Right? And I know we don't have a transition, and shut up. So we're gonna have to go ahead and add these additional things here. So I just like copy and paste from like a code because I'm lazy. So I'm just gonna copy these two. And like I said, the reason I'm doing this for a level jump is because a lot of times I do add additional stuff to the level jump that I would not necessarily just want on a straight transition. So I'll go ahead and add these. And then like for my scene transition, I've got, instead of using this load scene, actually I could go ahead and add that as well. On trigger event, blah 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 blah, update. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and add this load scene as well, because this is going to be a completely different script. And yeah, I guess I could like use serialization on these things if I wanted to, but I don't want to. So all right, so now what I can do here is, instead of using this scene manager, I can just comment this one out and use this load scene instead. I should be able to use this load scene. Why? Load scene. Alright. Oh, and then I have to put the, I believe, same as up in here, so, string scene name. Come on. Alright, yeah, that should work. Yeah, good. Alright, so now let's try this again. Okay, so jump script. Okay, yeah, so actually, yeah, this gives me a lot more options. So I can like set the transition animation. So transition animation will be set. I'll just go ahead and drag this transition panel down here like usual, and now I'll set the delay for like 1.5 and see if that works. Okay, yes, cool. So it did give us a delay before it transitioned, so that was good. Now, we got the delay on the transition, but when I go to the main menu, if you'll notice, like when the main menu starts, something like kind of strange seems to happen. Okay, so it just like goes straight into like whatever mode. So I'm gonna click this, and we're gonna go to the transitions canvas, and let's see, transition panel. What do we have? Okay, so delay is 1.5. Yeah, it appears that we're like that this canvas is okay. So start. Okay, so that's already playing through. Okay, so this transitions panel is below our. Okay, should you become above? Let's try that. Give me a second. There's no reason why this should be, why this button and image should be above this, I think. Okay, so we've got what? We got you. Okay. I mean, it's not really such a big deal, but it is kind of annoying. So, yeah, let me drag this back down to where it was. Okay. I think I know what's wrong. Give me my transition panel. Yeah, transition panel here. Yeah, that looks kind of weird. Okay. Well, actually, for the menu though, since I do have a delay on the previous one, I might not necessarily need a transition for the menu per se. Because that is kind of getting on my nerves. All right. Well, anyways, since we're here, let's go ahead and take a look at the menu. So I have standard image, which will represent the player usually, and then I have a play button over here, which is like this little small guy over here. Now, in order to make a transition or make this one work, basically I'm just going to kind of do the same thing. So I'm going to take this transition panel and I'm just going to drag it. Oh, sorry. I'm going to click this first. And then I'm going to take this transition panel and drag it in here. And then I'm going to go to scene transitions and I'm going to go to load scene. And then I'm going to type in which scene I want it to load, which will be sample scene. Alright. And now when I play this menu, I should be able to like go back and forth between both of these scenes. Oh, I won't be able to go back and forth between both of these scenes because I forgot I turned the transition canvas off. Okay, so right now, if I go here, I click on the button, absolutely nothing happens. It's just looking at me like, what you talking about, Willis? So I'll cut this off and then I'll cut my transition scene back on. And now I'll hit play. Okay. Ah. That's what it is. That I knew something was getting on my nerves. So that delay, I can turn this delay off. All right, there we go. Okay, so now if I go to click this button, it should take me to, yeah, this scene right here. All right, so yeah, now we've got like two ways to kind of, enter and exit scene. So this is gonna wait a couple seconds, that's gonna pop up. And then if I click this one, it's going to like pop me back in here. Um, Now realistically, for a menu, I may not necessarily want like this fade in or fade out. I might just want it to pop to the menu. So what I can do here is I can actually just go to the animator, and instead of going to start, I could actually just set idle as my default state. Yeah. So I can actually just set idle as default state, and then when this plays, it should just automatically go to the idle. Okay, yeah, so it automatically goes to the idle, and then when I press a button, it'll like take me over here. All right, and then like when I go here, it'll reset over there, and it'll just pop me back over here. So depending on like the type of game that you want to create, you can like you can do that as well. I think I'm gonna like go ahead and leave this as the default state though. And for the transition panel, I'll leave that there. Right. So I'm just gonna kind of leave everything as it is right now. All right. So we have one button on this scene, but just one button is kind of boring, and we would probably need more scenes. So what I'll do is I'm gonna click this play button, and I'm gonna like focus on it here. Cut this transition panel off for this moment, and go to the play button. I'm going to hit R, and I'm going to make him bigger, and I'm going to move him over to the side a little bit. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control D, and I'm going to drag this guy up. I can drag him up here, and then I'm going to like click this guy again, duplicate, drag him down here. Right. So now we have three buttons. Um, so everything being named play or like button just doesn't sound right. So I'm gonna go up to this top button, or the number one button. Actually, I think I'm gonna do it on this one, and I'm gonna organize these a little bit. So I'm just gonna put this guy here, and this guy is here, and then you're at the bottom. All right. So you're going to, instead of being play, you're gonna be the original play button. So play, play, right? And I'm going to change the text to play. Play, all right. And of course, I'm going to change this to something that's not so annoying. Actually, that's not too bad though. And the middle one, I can change this to something like story. And then I'll also change the text to story. And then the last one I'm going to change to credits. All right, and then like so I'll go in here and change this text to credits as well. All right, so now we have three buttons, right? But they all kind of point to the same place. Then that's kind of good right now because we don't have any other scenes that we created. So I'm going to save this one. And I'm going to go to, I want to create another scene. So I want to create these other two menus. The easiest way for me to do that is to create one menu with all the kind of buttons that I want to make. And then, like, I can kind of just rearrange them later. So for the story menu, I'm going to go to this main menu. I'm just going to hit Control D, right? And that's going to be menu 1. And I'm going to rename this guy. So I'll rename this to story. All right. And yeah, I can like go ahead and reload that. Right. So for story, I'm going to double click this to make sure I'm in the story one. And I've got everything set up. I've got my transitions, I got my canvas. I'm going to take these buttons and I'm just going to kind of manipulate them a little bit. So I'm going to drag the play menu down here, and I'm going to drag the story menu over here, And then I'm gonna drag maybe the credit menu over here, and that's just gonna totally run out of space. So credits, I'll move story over a little bit. Play, story, credits. Generally, I like to kind of keep the play button in the middle, in the center, because I tend to make this one bigger anyway. So, just something like this, right? And I'll move story over here. So, I mean, like, that story button is actually going to be changed over to menu anyway. So, switch this back over here. Yeah. So, just to kind of make sure that the play button stands out a little bit more, I'm going to increase the size of this one and decrease the size of the other one. So play, I'm gonna go ahead and hit this and make you a little bit bigger so that you're just kind of like standing right out there. So yeah, everybody knows which button to press in order to like play again. For story and for credits, I think I'm actually gonna shrink you guys down a little bit. And don't worry, this is not like professional at all. I'm just kind of giving an example of like what you can do. Uh, So most of my games simply don't look like this. Alright, so story, and then I can go to credits, move this over here, and then if I wanted to like move the player image and like do something kind of like funky with that, I could like put like a big graphic right here. And maybe even change the color of it, to something like this. Alright, yay, so we have our new menu here. So this says story, but we're already on the story page, so we're going to switch it over to menu. And let's see, sample scene. I'm going to change it to main menu. All right, and we don't even have a credit scene yet, but I'm going to go ahead and change this one over to credits, even though credits hasn't been created, and credits. All right. Now, if I click any of these buttons, especially like if I click this this one that says menu, which will be changed down here as well. If I click the menu one, well, it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to go to the sample scene because like I have not added I haven't added the story scene to the build settings yet. Right, so I'll need to change this one to menu as well. Alright, so let's save this, and let's go to our build settings. And in our build settings, we're just going to click Add Open Scene, and it says Story. So I've got Main Menu, Story, Sample Scene. Yeah. So now when I press play, right, when I press play and I go to menu, oh, nothing happens again. Why? Because I didn't cut this damn thing on. Alright, so now when I press menu, it should go to the actual menu scene, which it is not. Why? Okay, let me go ahead and cut this on, see what's going on with this. Transition panel, where are you? Transition time delay, okay. Okay, there we go. And then if I go to click on story, well, nothing happens because I haven't done anything with this button yet. So, like for the credits, okay, I've already got this one set for credits, cool. Alright, so I'm gonna go back to the main menu. And remember, I'll need to change where these buttons are kind of pointing to at the moment as well. So I will go down here, and remember this says sample scene. Well, now I want it to point to story. So, and I want you to point to credits. Right, cool. So now when I hit play, so I've got play, I've got story, so I can go to story, and it'll take me absolutely nowhere because I keep on forgetting to cut this damn thing back on. Haha. Like, so you're always gonna want to make sure that your transitions panel is like cut on, it's turned on so like it can actually access, so that scripts can actually access it. Alright, so I go to story, yeah, so that takes me here. I'll go back to menu, then I can click play, and that'll take me to this scene, and then my character can run around, you know, happily, and he can like jump in here, and that'll take him back to this one. So you can like now see kind of how we're easily navigating between scenes, and then if I hit play again, that's gonna take me here, and I'm gonna kill my character off. And if I don't want to transition to another scene or a game over scene, I can just like simply hit R, and that will restart. All right. So the next thing that we're gonna have to do is since we're on this menu, and we have like three buttons. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create the credit scene. So, how am I going to create the credit scene? Well, because I'm lazy, I'm just going to go to the story scene and save this. Yeah, I'm going to go to the story scene, and then I'm going to say, hi, story scene. Let's open you up. So I've got, the credit scene. So, hi, credit scene. I'm going to open you up, and I'll hide this guy for a little bit. So I've got play. I want my play in the middle. I have menu here. So I could set this one back to story if I wanted to. So generally I'll keep my menu on this side though. So menu is fine. And I'll change this one to story. Story. Alright, so I'll change this to story. I will change the text to story. Oh shit, sorry. I didn't do what I was actually beginning to do. So before I do any of this, what I need to do is I need to actually click here and then duplicate this. And that's going to change this. And then I'm going to rename this. It's making a copy of the scene. And then I'm just going to rename this one to credits. Yeah. Otherwise, I would have just changed my story scene, and that wouldn't have made any sense. Alright, so now I'm in the credits scene. Alright, so same thing I was doing before. Very quickly, I'm just going to go in here and change credits to story. So change basically everything that says credits. I'm just going to change it to story on this button. So story, and story. Okay, and then I'm gonna probably have a different image on each of these. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna change this credits one to pink, right? And that way we can kind of see make sure that we're all on the same, that we're actually transitioning between different scenes. Okay, so let's play this. So I'm going here, and that all looks good. And then what I can do here is just go to menu, and that'll take me to my main menu, and everything works as before. And then when I hit play, it'll just let me run around. So that's how we can. Those are the two. Well, these are kind of the two main ways that we're going to be transitioning between scenes. We're going to be either using buttons or we're going to be using triggers, right? So the menus use the button way of switching between scenes. However, the actual game scene, we have this box down here, the exit level box, which will allow us to transition scenes by using a trigger, right? And yeah, so it should be pretty good stuff right now. All right, so now what else are we gonna add to this? So we can switch scenes, we can bump into stuff, we can take damage, we can collect coins, we have HP. So what else do we need? Well, let me check my notes. What else was I gonna add to this? I was going to add, we already kind of have some kind of pickup. What else can I add? Alright, so I think one of the other things that we're going to add to this, actually, we're going to add a mouse. Right now, when the player is on the screen, and he's clicking around here. Well, we can see where our mouse cursor is at the moment, but it kind of looks boring because it's just this arrow. And when I hit play, yeah, I'm maximizing this right now, and I'm gonna have to jump off of this a little bit because my battery on my iPad is about to die. It looks like, and I've got to get ready to cook dinner anyway, so or prepare dinner. I'm not cooking anything tonight. I'm preparing. So right now, like we have our nice little pointer here, our nice little standard mouse button, which is okay, but it does kind of look boring for like going around the screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a quick cursor. So I think we're just going to kind of add a cursor follow script. So what I'm going to do here is, let's see, I think I need to do this in a new canvas. Oh, sorry. So I'm going to go up here. Do I need to do the new canvas, or do I need to do this in, yeah, I'll do another cursor canvas, right? So UI, UI canvas. I'm just going to name this one cursor canvas. I mean, I could do this as a panel, but cursor canvas. And then I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to create a UI image. UI image. UI image. You are the children. Okay, so I'm going to create a UI image, and let's see. I'm going to change this image to something that's, well, kind of not on the screen right now. So what else do I have? Boring. Okay, I'll go with triangle. Yeah. And I'm going to change this to a, what color have I not used in this? I'm going to use a pink. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to use a nice light pink thing as a pointer. All right. So this will be like my cursor image. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to need to kind of add a script to this. And this will be like a cursor follow script. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, and I'm going to add a component. And I'm going to make a new script, and I will put like a cursor follow. So we've already kind of created something a little bit similar to this when we actually created the player movement. So if you go up here, you'll notice that we do already have a click to move. So this is just like where this will calculate where the player clicks, and then it moves where the player clicks, and then the character actually moves there. The cursor, on the other hand, we're not necessarily going to be clicking anywhere because we want this to automatically kind of follow wherever our cursor is on the screen. And I spelled cursor wrong. Yeah. Alright, so let's go here and go back to our image, and I'm going to name this like cursor. Damn it, my spelling is really off today. Cursor. But like I said, I'm still not used to this keyboard because it's a little bit smaller than my previous Mac. So that's one reason why there's so many spelling errors. And sorry, cursor, and then I want this one cursor canvas. Okay, there we go. So back up to this one, open up my script. And that's the other game I'm working on right now. So I have like multiple projects that I'm kind of working on at the moment. So let's see, we've got our cursor canvas. I'm checking my notes right quick. This one's actually a pretty simple script, but I just kind of want to make sure that I do it very quickly. Okay, so for the cursor follow, we're not really going to need that much. We've got like a cursor visible and cursor invisible. So we're going to have like start. So this will be like a cursor, yeah, cursor dot visible equals false. And what this does is this turns off the standard mouse cursor that you're normally seeing, the little black pointy thing, right? So turn off standard default mouse cursor, right? And then we're going to go to void update, and we're going to do like a transform dot position, not parent, dot position, position, and that's going to equal simply input dot mouse position, and I need an extra I in here, and that's basically it. So just tells the script to follow the mouse position. Okay, so let's save this, and let's see, let's go back to Unity. So basically this is just going to get that little like yellow triangle to follow around wherever the, or sorry, I said yellow triangle, I forgot I put a pink one in here. Alright, so it's gonna get this little pink triangle to just kind of follow around wherever my cursor's at. So I'm gonna click this. I think I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller because you don't want this big ass like pink thing in the way all the time. So I'll shrink this down. And because like this is a point and click game, I might not actually want this pointing straight up, so I think I'm gonna like rotate it a little bit. So I'll rotate it this way to where it looks a little bit more like I'm actually pointing at something. Or actually, I might go the opposite direction. Yeah, there we go. That looks better for some reason. Alright, so let's play this and see if this pink triangle follows my cursor around the screen. Yeah, alright, so I have another cursor, and then when I click, yeah, my player moves to the tip of this. Exactly as planned. Well, almost exactly. Well, I mean, it's moving as planned, but it's still kind of boring, so let's go, let's click R, and to make this a little less boring, in this follow cursor script, I think I'm going to add something. So I'm going to add a bit of an effect, so that when I click, like something happens to show me, to show the player that something has been clicked. So I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna click, I'm gonna type in public, like game object, and I'm gonna call this click effect. Click effect, yeah. And I want that E capitalized, damn it. Effect. Alright, there we go. So click effect. Alright. And here, I'm going to do an instantiate. That will be click effect, and that will be transform dot position, and that should be quaternion identity. Alright. Alright, so this should give me like a visual reference whenever like the player has clicked somewhere. So what I'm going to do now is I've saved the script, and I'm going to come back over to Unity, and I'm going to find a click effect. So Unity. Alright, so now when I click on my cursor canvas, you're going to notice that it should have a click effect game object, but we don't have anything yet. So for a quick one, what I'm going to do is I think I am going to maybe animate a circle. Yeah, I think I'm going to animate a circle. So I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to, well, first let me go back to my main scene. I'm going to go down here, and then I'm going to take this circle. Do I want this circle? Yeah, I'm going to take the circle. And I'm going to drag the circle here, and then I'm going to shrink it down quite a bit. Yeah, so I'm going to make it really kind of small at first. Okay. And I'm going to change this circle's color to pink. Yeah, so I'm going to change this over to pink. Okay, and let's see, what else am I going to do this? Yeah, change the circle's color to pink. And now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to animate this. So I'm going to go to, I want this to have a higher layer in the order too, so I'm going to put it at 10. And this circle is, if I'm going to animate, I'm going to need to create an animation for it. So I can click create here. And I'm going to go to my assets. I've got my scenes. I'm going to go to my animations. And I'm going to create a new folder. And I'm going to put cursor click. Yeah, it's something simple to identify. All right, and then I'm going to click here and just save. All right, so I've got click, and let's see, do I need anything else? No, that should be it. So I tend to make an idle one anyway, so I'll go ahead and create an idle clip. So idle, I have a habit of creating an idle clip. All right, so and then in the animator, I want to make sure that this idle clip is set. So I'm gonna right click on this and set this one as default state, and then I'll drag this click down here. All right, so we've got this nice little pink cursor with the idle, which does absolutely nothing. So I'm gonna go to the click one and zoom in on this a little bit. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I think I'm going to change the color. Actually, hold on. Let me go ahead and hit my record button, and I'll go out to like maybe 10, and I will enlarge this. I'll enlarge this, and then maybe fade it out. Come on. So right now it's starting off small, so if I hit play, it's just gonna grow like this, right? But that looks kind of boring, so maybe I will, on frame 0, maybe I'll go ahead and drop this opacity down, and then I'll hit play and come up here, come to this one, and bring the opacity back up 1, and then as it fades out, I'll go to 20, and I'll make it a bit larger, and then I think I will fade it back out again to set the alpha back down to 0. All right, and let's see what that looks like. Okay, yeah, that looks like a click. All right, so and I think this is a little bit short, so I might actually drag this out to about maybe 30. Okay. Yeah, that's good enough for now. All right, so that's gonna be like what our like click actually looks like. I'm gonna have to jump off of this stream. Thank you for guys for joining. I'm gonna have to jump off this stream in a little bit because like my kids are coming home, and I've got to be a good dad and make sure that they eat. My oldest son is like in track and field club, so he should be pretty hungry when he gets home. So we've already kind of prepared something for them, but I'm gonna have to make sure that the table is all good and they're ready to go. All right, so I'm gonna save this, and what I'm gonna do with this cursor circle thing, I'm gonna name this what is it? Cursor click. All right, and what I'm gonna do with this cursor click is I'm going to create a prefab out of it. So remember down here I have a prefabs folder somewhere. Oh, prefabs, there you go. So I have a prefabs folder. I'm going to go ahead and drag this in here. And then I'm going to clear this one in the hierarchy. So just kind of delete this one. And now we're going to go back to our cursor here, our pink square. And you'll notice that we still have this click effect, which has not been filled. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to put my cursor click in here. All right. And now, what should happen theoretically is when I'm going around the screen and I'm like, clicking on stuff, we should see that animation play. There's going to be one problem though, because I didn't set the animation to just play once, and I actually haven't set the transition. So, all right. So anyway, it is attached to this, but we've got to do a little bit more work. I forgot about that while I was talking. So right now this is set to idle, right? So that's why you're not seeing anything. So I'm going to create another transition, and then I'm going to put this to go to, I'm going to drag this one down to click. All right, and right now we don't have any parameters, so I'm going to just put trigger, right? And this will be a trigger event, and I'm just going to put click. I'm very simple-minded. So, I'm going to click this line here, and I'm going to take off has exit time. I'm going to take off fixed duration, and I'm just going to click plus, and since we only have one parameter, it's going to autofill that. And there is something else that we need to do while we're on the subject. We need to click this cursor, click here, and we need to find the animator. And for click, we need to take this loop off, right? Okay, so that's what we needed to do in the Unity editor. But now in the code, we're going to have to call this. We're going to have to call this click trigger somewhere. So let's see, instantiate, click effect, transform, blah, 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 blah. We're also going to need to make a public animator, and that will be cursor click, yes. All right, and we're going to have to kind of set cursor click, not set trigger, and we're going to have to type this in. What did I name the thing again? Oh yeah, click. Right, and that should tell this to play the animation. I believe so. Realistically, we might not even need to instantiate this, really, to be honest, because before I wasn't going to animate it, but then I decided to animate it, so that's why I have it instantiate. Yeah, I know, shut up. And you are still not showing up. Why? Let's see. Variable cursor click of cursor follow has not been assigned. That's why. Cursor click. It would be. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't drag this into the right spot. So right now it's still set for cursor effect. Actually, in this code, I think I can go ahead and take this instantiate off. So I might want to instantiate something else, so I'll just comment it out instead of deleting it. Man, it's cold in here. Okay. Still not playing. Okay, I'm gonna have to find out why this isn't playing. Maybe it has something to do with the Yeah, variable cursor click of cursor follow has not been assigned. Uh, right now I'm kind of pressed for time, and I'm kind of thinking about like dinner anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and like probably jump off of this in order to fix my kids their food. What's wrong with you? You're all good here, right? And okay, that's good. Okay, hold on, let me clear this console right quick. Play again, see what error it gives me. Any errors? Okay, that might actually have something to do with the has exit time, or the fix or the duration. All right, yeah, I'll troubleshoot that later, guys. So like, I'm gonna have to jump off and like, prepare dinner anyway. So I'll be back on with this, and once I figure out like what has gone awry, which is I'm pretty sure is something simple. So I'm not really gonna worry about it too much because it's just like extra stuff that I'm kind of doing. Um, cursor click animation. Even though it does annoy me when things don't work out as planned. Alright, cursor click. Hmm. Oh, hold on. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. I think I might have just figured this out. Alright, so here I might just need to instantiate a click effect. However, there's no animator on this actual cursor, so that's why. So let me comment this out, and then let me reinstantiate this. I do need to instantiate a click effect, and that click effect. So technically, I think that you come back over here. Okay, so that click effect should be on this one, and with cursor click, I think I need to add another script. So, new script, like cursor what? Cursor pulse or whatever. Because this one actually had the animation on it. Okay, and I believe like that will fix the problem. This one should have, yeah. So this one should have the animator. So this will be public animator, and that will be click pulse or whatever. And then in update, I can do my click pulse, and this will be click pulse dot set trigger, and that will be, this should be click. Okay, and that should work, I think. Okay, so I'll need to make sure that I add click. Where you at? Huh, okay, that's not popping up. Why? Pulse animator. So animator should be this one, I think. Yeah. All right, let's see if that works. Okay. No, it's still not working. Okay, yeah, I'll figure this one out, but it's actually a pretty easy fix, I'm pretty sure. So it should be instantiating this, and the click pulse should be playing, theoretically speaking, but it's just kind of not showing up right now. And when I go to the animator, oh, hold on, I still have maximize on play. Okay, yeah, I'm stuck. Oh well, anyways, I got to jump off anyway, so, like, I'll figure out what's wrong with this in a little bit. So, this is click here, okay, yeah, I'm gonna jump off for now and cook some food. So I will catch you guys later, and I'll figure this out, and then we'll continue. I just kind of got stuck on it, like, got stuck jumping